those comments from the King Jerry Lawler towards the Colorado Kid, possibly threats about what's going to happen to him tonight. We are now joining this match already in progress. This was last night's manure match between Barnyard Briggs and Bart Sawyer. And if you wonder what Bart Sawyer's looking at, there's the trough of manure right there in front of the ring. The winner is the one who throws the other person into it.
Gross, 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 gross. And I seen Bart Sawyer over there looking at that big old line of manure. I can't believe they would sign a match where the loser is the one that gets pushed into the manure. And right there shows the wrestling capability of Bart Sawyer. That was the classic arm drag delivered on Barnyard Briggs.
Well, we know Bart Sawyer well enough to know, yes, he is a fine wrestler, but, you know, it's Barnyard Briggs. He isn't fazed by the manure being there. He's used to being around it. But, see, neither man left this match happy, and that's why tonight they're going to have a rematch, and there's a lot of bad blood there. It could spill out. It could get crazy. A lot of revenge will be taken tonight.
Well, they had manure last night. Ain't no telling what they're going to have tonight. You can never tell with these two individuals because both of them are very unorthodox.
Yeah, and speaking of, you never can tell what's going to happen tonight or what they're going to have tonight. How about the match between the Vols and the Aussies tonight? You surely can't tell what they're going to have in their match because the fans can bring anything to the arena for them to use as weapons on each other.
Exactly, anything they want to bring. And right there, I'm telling you what, he scooted out, but he's seen that manure, and he wasn't about to go because he followed up with a nice combination by Barnyard Briggs with two hip tosses and I think it was a body slam, and right there, a big clothesline. This Barnyard Briggs is making his own in the wrestling business, but tonight, you're opening up with a fantastic match. You got TJ Gray, the prodigy, against a veteran in the wrestling business, Skinny Kenny, and and then you've got the return. We seen them last night. You've seen them earlier in the show. The Bad Street Boys. These guys are something to be reckoned with. And, I was in that match with them last night. And, yes, they got the upper hand. But Chad Hawk will be my partner tonight. And let me tell you something. The redheaded stepchild, Chad Hawk, is one tough athlete. And we had a conference after that match last night. And we got our strategies together. And tonight is going to be a totally different story when we take on two of the Bad Street Boys, but we don't know which two. It's like they get to the ring and they make the decision about who's going into the ring.
Well, I'd say that puts you guys at a disadvantage because they know which two of you they're facing, and you're saying you have a strategy. Well, how can you have too much of a strategy when you don't even know which two you're going to be facing?
But we got to look at all four of them last night. So we're going to just base our strategy on their general wrestling style. Like I talked to Chad Hawk, we reviewed the tape earlier last night. After the match, we review the tape and we know what we're going to go after and we know the weaknesses and we're going to go right after them. And then you got Barnyard Briggs and Bart Sawyer tonight. You're going to see at the end of this match what happened, what transpired to bring this big grudge match on tonight. These two guys really do not generally like each other.
Well, absolutely. You're right there, Faron. We've talked about that some, but I want to talk about, the matches going on here. Why don't you talk about some of the other action tonight that we haven't mentioned, such as, how about Colorado Kid and Chris Michaels? Now, we mentioned at the beginning that Jerry Lawler had made threats, possibly insinuating that he may make a surprise appearance tonight to get back at Colorado Kid. But the big story is Chris Michaels is a #1 contender. He won the Battle Royal. He has been angry at the Colorado Kid. He's had a bounty on the belt. And he is one of only 3 men to have beaten the Colorado Kid before for the North American title. And if anyone can get it back tonight, he can. And he's going to pull out every trick in the book. He's mad. Colorado Kid may not leave with the belt, and he may not leave with his wrestling career even.
Well, Don, unlike you, I am a true journalist, okay? And I went and researched this, and I interviewed these people. Now, I didn't talk to the Colorado Kid because you got to get past Burt Prentice, and that's almost impossible. But, it is almost impossible to get past Burt Prentice. But, you got Chris Michaels, and I talked to Chris Michaels. He said he is sick and tired of sending other people to do what he needs to do himself because he told me, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, and he's putting that $5,000 back in his child's college fund where it belongs. He wants his kids to go to Harvard, so he's putting that money back in his child's college fund, and tonight in Nashville, Tennessee, tonight, Chris Michaels, I just upped the ante a little bit. Chris Michaels is going to take, I guarantee you almost, I'm putting my money on Chris Michaels that tonight he will beat the Colorado Kid for the North American title.
And we all know how much good a Faron Foxx guarantee is. But fans, I want to see you all bring your weapons out tonight. I want you to bring baseball bats. I want you to bring meat trays. I want you to bring old VCRs that don't work or anything that you're trying to get rid of, any junk around the house, because the Vols would like to take those things and break them over the heads of the Aussies, Ashley Hudson and Bill Dundee, for what they did last night.
So all you rednecks, get your old turntables and your 8-track players out there, bring them on ringside and play it so one of these guys can play a tune on somebody's head tonight.
And Faron, you know, I know you were talking about the match between Prodigy, one of the up-and-coming superstars, and the veteran Skinny Kenny. Skinny Kenny wears that shirt. He says, "I hate fat people." Where does that put you in there, in his opinion?
Well, as Skinny Kenny well knows that I have been on his weight loss program for a long time. Skinny Kenny has one of the best weight loss programs right out there, and I think the number is well, I haven't got that right now, but I'm going to find out the number so I can tell everybody next week, all you fat, out-of-shape rednecks, I'm talking to you, Bonnie, all you fat, out-of-shape rednecks, you need to get on this new program, Skinny Kenny's Get Skinny with Kenny. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. And you know what? I'm glad they're going to get this manure cleaned up at the Nashville Fairgrounds before tomorrow night, because they got to get that back, you know, in Betty Green's backyard, you know, where she's, you know, getting all that grass all sown for the spring season. But I'm telling you what, look at Barnyard Briggs is choking. He's choking right there. He's choking on Bart Sawyer. It's ridiculous. He's not even having any rules in this match.
Well, they're fighting hard. I mean, Bart Sawyer does not want to go into that manure. Barnyard Briggs doesn't want to go into the manure. I mean, they're fighting this hard. Neither of them wants to. And, you know, I don't think the fans got a good enough look at the bad street boys last night. The women were going crazy. They couldn't take their eyes off them. And, Faron, I don't think you could take your eyes off a couple of them either.
Well, I will say that they're quite attractive, and they seem to be great athletes. But I can't believe you said that Barnyard Briggs doesn't want to go in the manure. Have you ever smelt Barnyard Briggs? It's like he lives in manure. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't make it a point to go around sniffing other wrestlers when they're in the dressing rooms. But anyway, as far as I can tell, Barnyard Briggs, even though he has been on the farm, he's no stranger to manure. I don't think he exactly likes to roll around in it.
Oh my gosh!
Well, Bart Sawyer just fell and hurt himself in the unmentionable jewels.
We're talking like Mighty Mouse right here.
Oh, into the manure with Bart Sawyer. There's your winner of the match, Barnyard Briggs. Look at Bart Sawyer. He is furious. Oh, man. So Bart Sawyer doesn't leave this match happy, but believe me, Barnyard Briggs didn't either.
Well, I'll tell you what. Man, these things suck. Here, hold this. I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to start calling him Bart Sawyer.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Bart. Beat him up with that can. Knock that redneck out. I swear, Don, this is the kind of stuff I like to see. I like to see Bart Sawyer whip him up real good.
All right, stop it, Faron. Just cut it out. That's not what we're here for. We're here to be journalists and to give commentary on the match, not to take sides.
I'm sorry, I'm being totally non-biased.
Oh, this is terrible. This is awful. I said Bart Sawyer didn't leave the match happy because he went into manure. And like I said earlier, Barnyard Briggs didn't leave the match happy.
He's got some nuts on his head.
Yeah, he's getting that frying pan taken to him. And that's just one of many things you may see the Vols use against the Aussies tonight when those fans bring everything imaginable to the building for their match.
He's got the same milk bucket that Barnyard used on his cows. Or, I'm sorry, his father. I mean, that morning.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if tonight Barnyard Briggs gets hold of one of those weapons meant for the Vols and the Aussies and takes it out on Bart Sawyer and gets a little revenge for this thing.
He is taking that boy.
Oh,
you know what?
God.
He's giving him the woodshed whipping his daddy should have gave him a long time ago.
Man, Barnyard Briggs looks like he is done for business. Man, I can't wait to see tonight what he does.
Boy, the grudges are building.